That red button, John.
Okay.
The red one.
How long have you been recording for?
30 seconds.
Sync them. All right, you sync them. All right. That was my phone, dude.
Hot rod.
Hey, at least the thing is we don't have a, I'm gonna turn her down real quick here. We don't have a, to worry about 4K, so. All right, let's start this. All right, fellas, my name's James O'Neill. You're here with O'Neill Ops.
I'm Keith Rissy.
Trigger puller, cameraman. Hey, what I didn't really go into detail on the first episode of what we're calling the T4 series is kind of specifically what it is. We've got the T4, which is tactics, techniques, training, and tools. And we're gonna be going into details on all of those aspects. What I kind of want to do is for probably the first 4, 5, 6 episodes, the first half a dozen episodes, just keep it to the basics, you know, almost like coyote hunting 101, where it's just our tactics getting in with whether it's, you know, the wind, the sun, adjusting, adapting to the terrain with what we've got to work with, and kind of how we get into the set, just to kind of give you guys some basic fundamentals on what we do. And then later on, as things progress, we'll get into the techniques of basically fine-tuning our tactics is what I would call that. And then we'll get into the training side of things, whether it's kind of how we train ourselves, how we shoot, just some of the drills that we do, to the physical side of things, lifting, etc., running, how we better ourselves physically so that we're more, you know, a little more performance in the field of hunting when the season rolls around. And then the tools, all right? I would look at the tools. Everything else would be more software style. The tools are gonna be hardware. Everything from the suppressors to the barrels, to the actions, to the stocks, to the firearms, to the complete systems, to the packs that we run, thermal, night vision, etc. So we're gonna be going into a lot of details with this T4 system that we've got. And then in the end, if we can do it right, kind of piece everything together and show you guys how we intertwine everything to give us more success in the field with what we're doing. And, you know, just so you guys do know, we're not trained by anybody. You know, we're all of our success comes from our failures. We're literally trained from our failures. That's how we do it. And that's what we want to pass on to you guys, so you guys don't fail. This particular set, once we get done, I'll probably show a video link to a popular video that we've done called Salvo Double. This is where John actually got a salvo double kill with the Benelli M4 with the Silencer Co salvo. And we had this is a pretty cut and dry set. It's a pretty simple set, but when you introduce the camera, when you introduce the shotgun, trying to get them close, it's a little bit different. So with this set, what we're gonna do is video overlay a simple rifle kill that Keith did. That's your kill, and we'll get down, run you through it, and kind of show you what happened with the coyote and how it turned up. And then also at the end, overlay the same exact situation with the salvo double of John's.
Sure.
Same exact location, about a year difference, nothing big, and no big deal, but it'll get you guys an idea of once again how we set up with specific scenarios.
And this spot here is it's a one set kind of area. There's actually no other way to hunt this spot other than how we're going to show you how we did it. So
that's a good point. Yep. And like I was going to tell you at the beginning, if there's something that you want to freaking chime in on, just freaking interrupt and say it, because there's a lot of stuff that I'll go over that,
sure,
that I might skip over that you'll pay attention to detail on. How's everything going back there?
Good. Keith, scoot in a little bit, half step. There you go.
As long as we can kind of see
what.
All right. Okay, guys. So what we did is similar to the first layout. Okay, we've got essentially a topo map with some contours with the elevation. This is not a river. This is actually a creek that flows into the river that was on the last set that we were on. It's miles apart, but regardless, this is a little creek. I mean, you can jump across it. It's only a couple feet wide. And I kind of cut it out. It was a bigger, on a lot larger scale, where you could actually see where we parked the truck, but I wanted to magnify it a little bit and kind of show you guys details of where we were sitting. So when we come in, guys, there's a road way over here off of what we've drawn, and we park the pickup. I'd say it's probably close to a half a mile in here.
Yeah, down this way here.
Right down along that fence line, kind of in right above the first start for the first draw to this creek.
Yep.
Kind of. There's another tributary that comes off over here. We park on that side of it, and we follow. This is another thing too, guys. We work with the fence lines. You know, that's a good kind of a nice tool, a good asset to have. Come in along a fence line, even at certain angles. That fence line acts as a wall. You know, you're behind something. Sometimes there's tumbleweeds in it. Sometimes it's just posts lined up at an angle, and it kind of masks you as you
Break
come
you
in.
up. Yep.
Exactly. So we use this fence line to get in, back down here, and then we cut across and kind of follow this ridge line.
Yep.
It's probably more like you said, right down along here, right down along this ridge line. And then go ahead, dude. Tell them how we kind of once we jump the pickup, cut across here. Real quick. This is a pretty kind of an aggressive creek.
Sure.
I mean,
yeah.
You can see
especially back here.
It's solid trees. So this is probably around 2,800 feet down at the bottom, and it gradually increases, like I said, up to the side here within a couple hundred yards to 3,000. So there's a pretty drastic.
It's not a real big area as far as, it's kind of a funnel, you know. We got them coming right straight down through the creek there, so as far as them circling us, I mean, we'll never know if they do.
That's what
we're always calling them right down through the bottom.
When we come in from back here, and I'll let Keith kind of explain when we jump the fence, but everything to our east back here is, we just automatically say, screw it.
Yeah.
We know there's more than likely coyotes back there, but that is something that you cannot get. I mean, it's just too aggressive, too thick.
You ain't going to get any footage or anything like that, so.
So we just basically, that's compromised. All of that to the east, we automatically say done. So dudes, break it up.
So we'll come in somewhere in this area, kind of, and there's a few more trees here, but we'll come in right through these trees. Pretty good hill right here as far as anything seeing us from the west. But we'll cross the fence, you know, somewhere in this area and come down through these trees and just hook right around the trees here. And we'll set up, you see our ops logo here, we'll set up right here, and this is where we always set up. Yeah, we're here, and then John usually down in this area with a salvo and calling to the northwest.
Yep, that's right. John's usually about right there on that location, which is probably, might be 50 yards from us.
Right, it ain't far.
And like he said, that's another good point. That's a really good point. When we come in, guys, anything that is from our point straight to the west or to the northwest cannot see us when we're coming in. We hug these contours. We get behind these trees, like he said, when we come in. So when we come in and we hit this fence line, we gear it way down.
Right.
We start going slow. Yeah. We sneak behind these trees.
And like when we're set up, we're right underneath these cedar trees here.
Yep.
So that nothing ever sees us even come in, you know.
The only thing that's really going to bust us on this is when John gets out.
Right.
When John heads down to his location, to his spot, and sets the call out.
Yeah, and that's just the gamble we take to get, you know.
Get a shoddy kill.
Yep.
That's about it. So what we've got, guys, is when we get set up here, this spot right here on the map is actually a big kind of a blue circle. And I was going to draw it out, but I didn't want to confuse it with a pond or anything. This is a really low-lying, probably I would say, if you had to put it in an acreage, maybe an acre, 2 acres, just a little small area that's a little open spot. And it's a picture-perfect spot to get a pretty cool footage if you can pull them down along this creek. And there's pockets all the way along here. Up around from here, you can't see around this bend. No. A lot of times they come through here. You can see them down right along these trees, and they
they'll come out of these trees right here. So like this last one did actually.
Yep, and you'll see it. And I zoomed in. You guys will see it here. We'll pause for a second, and I'll just kind of BS a little bit. But as I'm showing you guys this footage, I'm zooming in, and I'm zooming past the coyote to the south.
Okay.
And then I pan over and get on him, and you guys can kind of see how he comes out of these trees right here, and just, you know, he comes right across right down here, and
I think salvo double they went
right around the south side of it, north side of it, sorry, on the north side. This one that we're going to be overlaying and going into detail on, you'll be able to see what happens here. So we actually pick up that coyote right along these trees, right in here somewhere. We'll say right here on this sharp corner. Probably, what would that be, about 150 yards maybe?
Probably max.
Maxed out from where we are.
Yeah.
And you can see him pretty good. He comes in and he cuts right down along here, and he gets in here on this side of the creek, on the north side, and you can see his characteristics, his eyes and his body kink over, and you can tell he sees either the call or he sees John. I don't know which one he sees.
Yeah.
But when he sees John, he's taken
And
off.
you'll see it on the video. But I think, didn't he come across the creek and come up in there, up in here?
Probably. I don't really quite. I mean, I should have watched the footage a little bit closer, but
Yeah.
he does.
I think
he is
jumps,
on this side of the
I think
creek.
he jumps the creek, and I think it's on the video. He jumps the creek and ends up right in this area. And that's when he's seen John. And I don't know if he actually seen John or something else, because
But I'll be
John
showing
was pretty
it,
camoed out.
and we'll show that too.
But you can see that he sees something.
Oh yeah,
definitely,
he's
you know?
sitting there
Yep,
bobbing
yep.
his head.
And that's when he tries to go around to the north, the east side of us.
And they get here, they get anywhere over here, it's
Yep,
gone.
yep.
It's just trees.
Yeah, this tree line right here kind of cuts us off, so our shooting angle, you know, is about like that.
And here's another thing too, like I think we mentioned it in that first video, guys. This is where like it kind of comes with the more experience you get, the more time you get in the field. When that coyote came in, a lot of guys would be freaking their asses out. You know, he came in and we could see his body, his characteristics. He had us pegged out, or he had John pegged out. He had that call pegged out, but we knew that he wasn't going to bolt. We took our time and got him stopped. Didn't freak out and make a running shot because we could tell that he was going to stop. And he stopped about right here, and this is right here, is about right where Keith killed him. You'll see him on the video. He might even be a little bit, he's almost straight north of us when you kill him. Probably about a 100-yard shot.
Yeah,
that you
far.
make. And this is
And he was close. I mean, what do you say, 50 yards, 60 yards, John?
For me,
You're right.
yeah, I was borderline pulling the trigger, but
Yeah.
not quite in range yet.
with that 16.5-inch or 18-inch barrel that M4 has. That's kind of a tough shot with that. You know, if we'd had
especially on a coyote,
a good choke and some different shot shells, we probably would have been able to do it, but we were trying to coax him in. All right, guys, you know, didn't really mention this, but this setup here, as of course we're coming in from the east, we're working to the west. You want to have some kind of a westerly wind, something
anything
in our face.
west will work there.
Northwest, southwest. If you have a southwest wind, you better be ready to kill them a little bit earlier.
Yeah, you're going to be killing them up here.
And with the northwest wind, that's usually better because most of the time they just don't circle outside of this tree line.
Right.
We haven't seen it.
Yeah, this tall ridge that runs these trees, I mean, they stay down below it, kind of down along that creek.
So it's kind of a self-explanatory type of a set, just to kind of show you guys how we do it. We could kind of run you through the ringer real quick on the salvo double. It's the same thing. You know, we came in, we got set up, and you were filming that one.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw those coyotes first when they came in, but there was actually cattle in the pasture at this time.
Yeah, I think the cattle were back up in here.
They actually ran right through them on the video.
Right.
And you saw them come in. You can explain that one.
Yeah, it's tough to see anything until it gets to about here, if I'm reading it right. But they come around, and these ones kind of follow this ridge line. And there's a few trees right here, not a lot, but a few. And I think one of them came down below here, and the other one came around. Is that right?
Yep. Hit that call again, and that one really kinked on it.
Yeah.
And
the first one came kind of right down through here. John set up same spot. We're all set up in the same spot. John ends up, 20 yards. That first kill.
close.
You know.
You could hear us on video.
Yeah. And ended up making a running shot, and I think he ended up dying, you know, somewhere up in this area. Actually, he went over the hill.
Yep. Found him dead.
Found a heart shot and found him dead right up over this ridge right here.
And then the other one, he pounded and it was kind of spinning, so he put another one in it and it ended up
Okay.
dying
Yeah,
right
that's
here.
right.
But I think on that set, guys, regarding the salvo double, what we did was we heard them ripping off when we came in. Remember that? We could
Okay.
hear them howling right up
Right,
here, so we
right.
knew that they were there. And this year, you know, that's another thing that we'll point out. We never killed anything there this year.
Nope.
We made one set there, which was completely stupid on our part because we were hitting up so many other areas. But this is too good of a location for us to be going into detail on something like this and then not following through ourselves and
Right.
actually hitting that spot up 2 or
Right.
3 times a year. We should be hitting that up at least 2 or 3 times a year. I'm trying to think if there's anything else
It's
that we
just
should.
such a secluded place, you know.
It's one of those spots that it never gets called unless we go there and call it.
Nobody knows.
You know.
It is pressure during deer season, but coyote hunting, it's privately owned, so that's a huge plus for our part. I
Yeah.
mean, we got exclusive access to this, which is phenomenal for us
And I'm not sure if we've ever called there and actually had one get away, as far as
when they come in.
right.
Yeah. I think we've only called there once and actually not got one. I went here with Amy, if I can go back on the footage, and had my little sister film
Okay.
and killed a really good kill shot right
Yeah.
there too.
Was that a handy cam film?
Yeah,
Yeah.
handy cam. That was probably
Gosh.
7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, I'd say that at least.
Same exact setup, and if I can find that, I'll put it on there. But if not, you guys get the idea. It's a pretty simple layout, but that's kind of what we want to do. Is just, like I said, show you guys the basics, run you through it. I know a lot of guys out there are more up to par with what's going on, but there's a lot of guys that appreciate the detail, and we will get a lot more elaborate as things progress. I mean, this would be a real simple set if we were just coming in to call and try to kill,
Right.
and not really bring the camera along.
Yeah.
But we've got some pretty cool footage to kind of show you guys how it all pans out.
Can't think of anything else, can you? Sand hills on both sides, rolling sand hills, north and south. So it kind of runs right through the middle of them.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else too. If there was any other questions that some guys were asking about. This is just it's a simple set.
Sure.
The hardest part about this set is actually just walking into it,
Yeah.
because it's probably more like, up and down. It's at least a half a mile,
Sure.
if not more.
And it's kind of a no guess situation as far as where to set up and everything. You know, there's only one spot to set up really.
You know what I could do? This is a good one too. And I was actually just reviewing this footage tonight when I think before you got here. Remember that? So what happens is this creek runs way back to the west, way
Yeah.
over to Adams,
Yeah.
and it actually runs to the north of that big meadow.
Okay.
Remember that big, however big that meadow is, it's right beside the road. I can't remember
Right.
what he said the acreage was, but remember that coyote that RE told us there was 4 or 5 of them in that bale pile that morning. So we thought we would set up on the edge of this creek way
Yep.
back here
Yep.
and call them across. Well, when we were sitting there, one of them was just traveling through,
Yep.
just coming, and we just
Yep.
sat there, held tight, made a little bit of a set and coaxed him. But do you remember which one that
Oh, yeah.
one? He was
The
mangy.
mangy.
You
Yep.
shot him right in the face. I
Yeah.
watched it. So maybe what we'll do for episode 3 is just kind of transition from this spot and kind of
There
show
you go.
you how this map actually continues to the west and how we made a set over here on this meadow.
Yeah.
So you can kind of work your way in.
Yep.
Make
Okay.
multiple sets up and along there. It's
Sure.
only a single kill, but
Yeah.
it'll give guys a little bit of an idea
Yeah.
regarding a little bit more open of an area.
Yeah.
Cut.
Beat.
Here we go. All right, fellas, I hope you enjoy what we're doing. We're trying to teach you guys something, bring you along, kind of guide you into it, and get details on how we make sets with this video series that we're going to be throwing out. If you guys want to see something that is a little more detailed regarding just setups like this, comment. You know, get a hold of us. A lot of YouTube comments. We've got a lot of positive feedback. We've even got a couple comments on our through email and Instagram regarding what we're doing here. Like I said, this isn't really rocket science. This is a basic, simple setup, but there's a lot of guys out there that are interested in how we do it. And as things progress, like I said, we're going to be going into detail on the techniques once we get through some of the the basic principles, some of the basic tactics that we do, and then go into the training and a lot of the tools. Once we get into the tools and stuff, guys, I mean, what we plan on doing is a lot of reviews this year. That we've got a new weapon system that we designed, a couple weapon systems that we designed with Gunworks, the Marauder for the daytime, the Marauder IR for the nighttime use, and then we're also going to be going into detail on our helmet mounted setups with thermal, night vision. We're going to be going into multiple rifle thermals, kind of show you guys how we set them up, how we gear them up. So there's going to be a ton of stuff that we're going to be incorporating into videos like this. We might do a real elaborate video regarding a review, and then for the video on the T4 series, we might just kind of ad-lib it and not get real detailed, just kind of BS with you in front of the camera, run you through the ringer, and just kind of do what we did here and explain to them how we use it, why we use it. There's a lot of ways that a guy can kind of explain it regarding kind of what we're doing and how we're doing it, and we'll make note on that as things progress. But regarding tools, you know, there's a lot of guys that you don't need to have the kind of equipment that we do, but in the end, it makes us a lot more efficient at our work. I mean, we get a lot better. Everything that today I was just thinking, dude, everything that we use, it boils down.
Has a purpose.
And it's custom.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, look at the way everything's going nowadays, okay? Look at your cell phone, how your computer, how easily you can customize that, how easily you can, you know, put whatever app you want on whatever page you want to cater to what you use most. You know, everything is about customization and being more efficient. So instead of having to scroll through your phone to page 5 to use your most used app, you put it on your home page.
Yeah.
That's the same principle that we apply with our gear. There's a lot of guys that are like, oh, dude, look what you guys are trying to. We use stuff I remember when the very first time out of college that we were getting hard. I mean, we've always been hardcore. We've always been hardcore. But regarding being able to actually utilize custom equipment, we had to kind of build it up to an extent. But the very first time I remember, 10, 15 years ago, factory Remington 700 rifle, 24-inch barrel, shot lights out. First thing we did, cut the barrel off.
Yep.
Down to 18 inches, 20 inches, 18 inches, threaded it, put a suppressor on it, and we had people hating us for it. We had people completely, I mean, dude, what are you doing? You know, you're decreasing the velocity by 100 feet per second. For what we were doing, didn't matter.
Still doesn't matter.
Exactly. And the whole purpose of that is customization, modifying our stuff to fit our application. Being able to do that little thing with the rifle, put a can on it. Now we have the same length of rifle as a 24-inch barrel, but we've got a can on it. Easier to maneuver, easier to take in and out of our pack, easier to go into sets. Backpacks, film equipment, everything that we do is custom, and we want to show you guys how and why we do that. That's exactly the beginning of this video series. If you think about it, each set that you go into is custom. You know, you're tactical about it. Your goal is to go in and kill your core. Your goal is to go in and kill your target. Your target's our coyotes. Our target's a coyote. Going in, you adjust to the layout of the land, customize to it, acclimate to it, and try to be successful. So that's kind of a different look. That's sort of how we look at stuff.
You know what else is custom? That beard. What the?
Smolder. It's not focused.
I wasn't focused. Oh, dude, that's funny. All right. You gotta end with something, dude, because
I just did your custom
No, you gotta end.
beard,
You gotta
man.
end with something good. You gotta end with something on the.
I ain't got nothing.
Something informational.
I just did.
Something informational regarding the set. Pick out one thing about this set. Brainstorm it. One thing about this set that is tactical.
Shoot him in the face.
Painting faces.
That's for this set over here.
Everything's tactical, man. I mean, why pick one thing out when it's all tactical?
Yeah, it just is. That's how it is, guys.
That's how it is.
Tactical.
That?
Titanica
Oh.
and your lanyard.
Swinging around like a nightstick, bro.
All right. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoy what we're doing, just bullshitting with you here, bringing you guys along for the ride, running you through the ringer, showing you how we do it. There's a lot more to come. O'Neill Ops, we're out.